Hi, my name's Tom, and I wanted to share something with you about fear, our higher power, and just some things that might help us as what we're facing now and what we might get through. For those of us in recovery, we know what fear is. Fear, false evidence appearing real. Flee everything and run. Future events aren't reality, fear. But we're told as we come into this program, into our program, one of the things we're told in AA, in the big book of AA, simply tells us fear. This short word somehow touches every aspect of our lives. It's an evil and corroding thread. The fabric of our existence was shot through with it. But how do we get rid of this fear? How do we move beyond this? And now, with everything going on, whether we've been in recovery, whether we're not in recovery, wherever we are, there's fear out there, anxiety, worry, all different types of fear. So, how do we get rid of this fear? One of the other things this book tells us, and this is a big book of AA. It's an old one, as you can tell. It's very well used. But anyway, one of the things this book tells us is lack of power. That was our dilemma. We had to find a power by which we could live and had to be a power greater than ourselves. Well, where and how are we to find this power? That's exactly what this book is about. That comes from the chapter to the agnostics in this book. Where and how are we to find this power? It's exactly what this book is about. So it helps us find the power. And then it doesn't only tell us we need to find this power, it tells us where it is. And this is one of the great parts. This is one of the things I love dearly about this book and all the 12-step programs. Because if you go into NA and use the basic text, we're going to find the same thing, the same steps and a lot of very similar ideas on this higher power. So now we got to find the power. They tell us where it is. They say in here again, the chapter of the agnostics, we found the great reality deep down within. In the last analysis, it's only there that he may be found. Only there. And then the back of the book, where the spiritual experience is, they talk about this spiritual experience, this wonderful experience that we have to have it. And we find when we find this power, we find our own higher power, we have this spiritual experience. So they tell us a little bit more about that. And right at the very place in here, at the very third, fourth paragraph, it says, the people who have had this spiritual experience, those people who have had this, they have tapped an unsuspected inner resource, which they presently come to identify with their own conception of a power greater than themselves. Right out of this book, an unsuspected inner resource. So they're telling us with the great reality deep down within. Number one, they're telling us we have to find the power. Then they tell us where the power is. It's inside each one of us. See, this fear that we're talking about, whether when we were using and drinking or when we're in recovery, this fear is all in our mind. It sits right here in our mind. And so how do we move this fear and not let it totally dominate us? How do we let it not keep us up at night? How do we let it not just keep coming back and keep thinking about it? That's the power. That's the secret to the power. They told me this. I'm an engineer. I'm a scientist. You want me to believe in a power greater than myself. So I like the idea that power is inside of me. I like that. But you want me to believe this power is actually going to do something? You want me to believe in a power I can't see? Then I realized I already believe in electricity. You don't think electricity is a power? Just stick your finger in that little socket there behind the wall. You'll find out it's pretty convincing. That stuff is a power. So I said, okay, electricity. I can't see electricity. I believe in electricity because I see what it does. I see how it turns the light on. If I have this light and my room is totally dark and I want to light this room, all I have to do is plug this little light into that little outlet over there in the wall. Plug that light in and turn it on. It finds the power. When this light bulb accesses the power, the energy flows into the light bulb and transforms the light bulb. That is a higher power. I finally become convinced that this is the kind of thing that they're telling me I have to find. If I want to find the transformation from addiction and alcoholism and into a better life, I have to find the power. If I want to get rid of the fear in my life, the anxiety and the worry, I have to tap into that power. I may have years of experience of this. I may have years of doing it. But boy, if I turn this on and I unplug this son of a gun, what's going to happen? Power goes out. I have to stay connected. This bulb has to stay connected to the power. Same way with me. I've got to stay connected to the power if I want to change my life, if I want to get rid of the fear. So, how do I stay connected with the power? Well, that's a wonderful thing. We are so blessed because they give us 12 good steps in here exactly to solve that problem. How to find that power inside of us. And see, this idea of this power being inside of us, this higher power, this God, this divine spark, whatever we want to call it, is nothing new. It didn't start with AA. I found this out later. I thought, man, oh, this is fantastic. Oh, this is great. No, it's been around for a long time. Buddha said, everyone has a Buddha within. Everyone has it. You've got a Buddha within you. All you have to do is find it, find that power. And then they asked Jesus, where, okay, you're talking about this kingdom of heaven, guy. You're talking about all this kingdom of heaven. Where are we going to find this kingdom? Where is it? And man, he said one of the best things I think I've ever read. You look here, you look there, but the kingdom of heaven is within. The kingdom of heaven is within. And then, like I said, the big book in AA tells me that the great reality deep down within. So, by working these steps on a daily basis and staying in contact with that power, staying connected, I don't have to have the fear. My mind will take off. This thought, this fear will get into my mind like a worm and want to sit there and just trigger all these reactions. Don't have to react to it. I can slow down. I can pray. I can meditate. I can talk to some other people. I can share. I can share the problem. That's one of the things about we've learned when we have a concern. It's one of the paradigms that we have out there. You know what a paradigm is? Something that doesn't seem obvious, just the opposite of what it should be, but it works. Well, that's one of the things we learn about sharing when we have fear, when we have worry. We share something like this, it's like sharing a piece of pie. We have less. Each time we share it, it becomes less. It's quite the opposite when we share something good, like I'm trying to share now, something that will help people, some love and concern and compassion. When we share that, we get more. Don't understand it, don't have to, it doesn't work. Now I want to come back to this power. You don't have to believe. It doesn't make a bit of difference what this light bulb believes, what I believe. None of that makes any difference. What makes a difference is the action. Do I plug into that power and do I let it melt the fear? Do I let it start to affect this mind? Do I do this on a daily basis? Because I can't do this. One of the things I've learned, I'm living here in South Florida now, at least here part of the year. And one of the things I've learned, I go out there and I work and I sweat. I get sweaty, I get stinky. And one of the things I've learned is last week's shower don't keep me clean today. I got to take a shower today. If I'm out there sweating, I got to take a shower today. Yesterday's prayers won't do me a bit of good today. Yesterday's prayers helped me yesterday. Today's prayers, today's meditation, today's contact, this conscious contact, this connection will help me today. It absolutely works every time I do it. It works. And there is not a single fear that we can have that can stand up to this power. Nothing. This power will melt any fear we've got. We just have to learn to contact it and stay connected because then it starts shifting the way we think, the way we see things, our attitude, our perception, and then start to find a peace of mind. We find out that everything that's happening out here is the outer life. All this stuff out here is an outer life. But where we live and breathe and die every day is our inner life. It's what's inside of us. And we can learn to do this. We can learn to find this power and let it completely change our life. And that's all we have to do, my friends. We have to find this power. We have to share our problems. We have to talk to other people. And we find this power of our own. And we can change. We can experience this wonderful transformation. This is the power that breaks the addiction. This is the power that severs the chains of alcoholism. This is the power that can melt any fear and give us hope and peace and serenity. Find your power.